Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the last video we have learned about singleton design pattern. This video we will be learning about builder design pattern. So instead of directly jumping into what is builder design pattern, we will walk through an example, and with the example we will explain how we will require builder design pattern and end up explaining builder design pattern and its implementation. So suppose you have a feedback of users and you have created a user class. So let's say you just only require mandatory fields like ID and email. So only these two are required and rest all are optional. So how you will create the object of that? Obviously the first answer is like we can create an object using constructor. Let's see that. So I have this user structure below so that you can take the reference of it while we explain the different things. So in the first video, let's say we want to fill these three things. The first two are mandatory, the third is optional. Let's say we want to create an object out of these three data members. So we can create using all our constructors in which we provide the value of first three and rest two are null. Let's say we want to create the value of all. We can create it using all our constructor as well. So now this looks a little ugly. So let's say there are 10 more fields. It will be more uglier. So what we can do is we can do constructor overloading. What it will help us is like we can create another constructor which just accept three fields, and we can directly assign the value as null for the fields which we won't require. So this is the class level representation of user as well. Minus represents private, plus represents public. I will go through this builder in the end. So what are the problems of using constructor? First is constructor overloading. Whenever you create a new field, either you will have to create a new modified constructor, or you will have to use the all R constructor and pass null. So other thing is like constructor modification is required with the new fields, and also the constructor calls becomes ugly since many fields will be null. So in this example we have taken 5 fields. Let's say there are 50 fields and only 5 fields are mandatory and rest are null. So it will be difficult to create an object for that. Some examples are like when you create objects like dbms connector. So in those fields you don't want to create uh, pass multiple fields. Let's say the only three or four are required, you can pass it. But if you want to fine tune that object, you might need to set another fields. So in that case builder design pattern is helpful. So what is a quick solution for this? We can create a no args constructor, like a default constructor we can create, and then we can just set the two items which we want, and then we don't need to pass multiple objects, and also it's a bit cleaner if there are many null fields. But the only problem is like if I am client and I'm using a third party library which has this class of user, I need to do three-step process to create its object. What if the third party library itself provide a capability to create a user in a single step? uh, so in a single step. So the benefit of this would be like we won't want the constructor of object to be expanded over multiple parts. We want it to be done in single parts. So now what we want is like we want to write a code such that these three steps can be done in a single step. Let's see how we can do that. So this is the first step of moving from constructor to builder. Like, hold on, you will still get to know about builder design pattern. So what we want a helper. This is the first step which creates an object for us. Then we need that helper to set objects on behalf of us, and after these two are done, we want it to return the object, which is in this the object is created at first. We want the object to be created, but we want it to be setting the fields, and only after setting the fields it return to us. So this is what exactly builder design pattern does for us. We want to get the work done in 1 2 and 3 steps, and let's see how we can convert this. So here I have step by step explained how we can achieve the creation of user with only minimal or whatever the required fields using a builder design pattern. So here user builder is a helper class which manages user object and it sets the fields. So this is the first part. This is a second part. Here we are providing, user builder is providing the capabilities to set the fields for us, and this is the third part where when the object is being created it's being returned. So let's see how it works in action. So when we create an instance of user builder, uh, we get this object and it has user encapsulated in it. So now whenever we are doing like set id of 1, so it is taking 1 as an input, but it is setting it on the object which it manages. So it is setting the id as 1. So it is the same step which is this step. Similarly, when we want to set the email, it sets the email for the object. So right now in the step 1 and 2, it has created the objects and it has set the given fields on it, but it has not exposed it or returned that object to the client which is calling user builder. So when we finally are done with setting the fields, we can set one field, two field, or like there are more fields, we can set it that way as well. So whenever we are done with setting the fields, we can call the builder dot build. So this will return the user. So basically in step 1 and 2 it's kind of still private, but in step 3, after all the sets are fields are set, it returns us. So this is step 1, this is step 2, and this is step 3. So this is exactly what builder design pattern is solving. It's solving the problem of setting only few fields or creating the complex objects such that we can do or configure only the required data members and let everything null or default settings. So what user builder is doing, it has a user object, it has a methods to set an object, these are public one, and it has a build one which returns a final value. Okay, let's move. So now the one main thing is like if there is an user object and if there are a user builder object, are they tightly coupled or are they loosely coupled? Currently with our previous implementation they are loosely coupled, but are there any other usage of builder design pattern except creating the object of user? No. So should that user builder be not be exposed and present inside the user only, so that uh, we can access it as a private class or public class inside the user and not consider it as a two separate class? So what we want is like instead of creating the object of user builder and setting the fields and building it, what if we have a method, let's say builder dot builder on user, which will return us user builder. So this helps that we are not exposing the builder outside. We just want the builder for the creation of user object. So we have put it inside user. So what it will look like is like we have a public class method, public static method builder. It returns a user builder. Now everything of the user builder class will go inside that user. So this will be a composition, and this builder returns that builder object, and after that we keep setting it. So this is modifying the step 1 because user builder is only used to create the object of builder. So this is the exactly what is being provided by third party annotations as well, like Lombok. We will go through this in the last slide. Now let's once again walk you through the entire code and the class diagram of that. So now we have a user object, it has fields, right? And it has a builder method. So what builder method will do is it will provide us a user builder. Now after this we have reached user dot builder. Now we have a builder. The next step is to set the fields on that. Now these fields are on the user builder class. So this returns a user builder class, and now whatever we use dot something, it's on the builder class. So that's why it manages a user class as we discussed earlier. In the constructor it sets it step 1, and in this step 2 it's just sets the fields, and it's in the step 3 it returns it. So this build is inside this user builder, whereas the main builder, this builder method, it's in the user, whereas the final build that is in the user builder, because this will return the final object, and this returns the builder. So the class diagram is like for a third party client. Let's say this is a third party library. What it exposes is, it exposes a user object, and how we are using it by calling the builder. So the first interaction of client happens with the user class, its builder method, and then user class interacts with the user builder, which is nested inside it, and it manages user object lifecycle and sets the different fields, and then finally a build method at the end. So this is a more generic implementation of builder design pattern, which is mostly discussed in the books. I prefer this diagram. It's not mostly covered, but you have just one builder of a class, and that should only be the responsibility of a builder design pattern. If you have multiple implementations or variations, then maybe strategy or factory design pattern helps there. But I will cover this part as well. So in this interface, this is bit different from the previous class diagram, and this is the main diagram which is being covered in most of the books. So here you can consider that user builder is outside of user class, not inside. So this previous example of user builder, it's inside user class, so the diagram becomes like this. So this is user builder is outside. So let's say you have a button, you want to build a button, right? So you can build a iPhone button, and you can build a Android button. So let's say you have created a builder which will manages builder button, and then you have this as a iPhone, and here let's say you have Android, and then it interacts with the button class. So this is an example, but I feel we don't use much uh, of this pattern. Most of the builder patterns are like builder is inside the user. So this is just an example. We can take an example of user as well. So here is a user builder, and these are like interface and the methods which should be present in its implemented class. So let's say we have the two implementations. One is the default user builder, in which whatever we set, that gets set on the user, and here we have the user advanced. What it has is with default an extra thing. So whatever we are setting, if we create an object of this, it adds on certain more capabilities. So yeah, this is a other example of builder design pattern. So I hope you have enjoyed the videos. This is all about today's videos. Thank you.